Okay.
Are you saying that this small cap investing you need to play the timing well? So you cannot just just keep holding for long term type of investing. You need to pair it with the market timing.
A bit lah, a bit lah. It is I also don't know how to explain. It's more like after quite a long while of investing, like 10 years, I get that feeling that okay, this is the one, that kind of thing, yeah.
This get the feeling a bit dangerous. Like those who buy Toto also they get the feeling. I feel it this round.
So there are hits and misses. Yeah.
Short term wise, I don't think there's any bad news going on. Yeah, other than the McDonald's, they're always overcharging people and they are now paying the price. Yeah, their value meal is not value so people have spent lesser on McDonald's, so their sales drop, so their price drop also.
Okay.
Have. Now they bring back all the value meals, which is good, but the burgers are still smaller. You all realize that, right? The burgers, they are a lot smaller.
All right, okay. Welcome back to another episode of the Backholder Pod. Today we have James from Invest Kaki. So we have the honor of inviting him because I guess previously Bunti has talked with him regarding some of the more he's not your typical investors that just invest in, let's say, the Chinese market or the US market. So I think it's a breath of fresh air, and we will talk more about his investment philosophy and how he tackles this whole market shenanigans. But I think before that, maybe James, you want to give a quick introduction of yourself to our viewers.
Hello everyone. Yeah, I'm James. So previously I write on smallcapasia.com, but slowly I'm shifting my focus to doing YouTube on Invest Kaki. So that's why, the reason why Invest Kaki is because I came up with the name after I saw a price kaki website from Singapore, and then I think that it's quite relatable, and I just changed the word to invest. So my aim is to talk more about all the stocks in general, US or Hong Kong, or even Singapore blue chip stocks, rather than focus on small cap stocks. That's the reason why I changed the focus to Invest Kaki.
Actually, can I ask? Sorry, Kevin, I asked one follow-up. Can I ask? I just wanted to know, in general, right? Can you just briefly outline your investment philosophy? Like, what has changed like over the years? Like initially when you started out, and then how you are doing it now.
My investment philosophy, if you really date back all the way to when I started, right? I started off just speculating. So basically, I don't know what to do. Just, like trading the top 20 volume kind of stocks. And then slowly I shifted to more so-called value investing because I read up Warren Buffett and all that kind of books. But slowly I also recognize that, those companies that can compound their wealth regularly on a year-to-year basis are the ones that really will become the big multi. So I would say right now I'm somewhere in between value and growth camp or quality camp. So right now I do also own small cap stocks, which I do a lot of research on, and the other stocks I just I find the more stable ones and then just park there. Yeah. So this is my my philosophy.
I just want to ask more about your small cap stocks. So now you are mentioning about that the compounding for small cap is probably like better as compared to other kind of more mature companies. So how do you like discover small cap stocks, and how do you even research them in the first place?
Yeah, actually it's quite interesting because back then when Motley Fool Singapore, Fool.sg, if you all know, they came over to Singapore. Back then I really have some kind of, because my background is in finance, so I really like to trade stocks and things like that. So when they announced that they are launching a branch in Singapore, so I went to apply as a freelancer. So back then I write a lot of articles, like almost 2,000 articles on Singapore stocks itself. So if you really cover all the blue chip stocks, and other than that, nothing much to say really. So I have to really dive into more small to mid cap companies back then. And then as I progressively write more about them, I realized that their business models are quite easy to understand, in the sense that when you think about like maybe Japan food is on food, when you think about SBS Transit East buses and MRT, so their niche is very easy to understand, and that's what really got me interested. Yeah, and from there, right, I started to also try out lah. I invest in small cap stocks, and I have quite a good record because I tend to do more research lah. Really drill down into the numbers, the management, what they are doing, and things like that. Yeah.
Can I just ask, like you said you have good results, right? Why do you think that source of good results coming from? Is it like just from pure work that you go and discover things that is out there, people don't know about it, and so you take advantage on that, or is it like something else? Or is it, for example, you could be saying like, oh, it's just a cheap, so I mean, we all should expect good returns buying into all these cheap stocks, right? So just want to hear more on that.
Yeah, thank you, thank you. I think it's a very good question. So, I think a lot of people, when it comes to Singapore small cap stocks, especially, they always say that they are value traps because when they go down in price, then after a few years, the management will just delist them, that kind of thing. Like, so is there like a winning formula, right, to finding these kind of small cap stocks? I would say, okay, lah, based on my own track record, there is lah, because I really look at company management, that I look at some intangible aspects. For example, I see that like management, they have high insider ownership, and then they suddenly buy back shares of their own company, and then they start to engage more in because I'm also writing on small cap Asia, so all this, the management or the IR firms, right, will reach out to me to feature their company. So that's where I know, okay, some good news may be coming, that kind of feeling. So then I'll do more research, and then yeah, and naturally, when they perform better financially and things like that, like more growth prospects, the share price will move up accordingly. Yeah.
Just curious, can you share your track record, the win ratio, loss ratio for small caps?
Oh, my past, I think I would have invested quite long ago. I didn't really track lah, but I have a few multi-baggers. So like maybe Marco Polo Marine is one, Sim Leisure is one. So I don't really keep track. I feel that the gains would be more than outpace the losses. And I have a model portfolio for my members. So I started this model portfolio 5 years ago. So since then, I think is around 203% up. Yeah, for the past 5 years. Yeah.
Annualized around how much? About 40-50%, annualized.
No,
25, I think. 25 to 30.
no.
Kager,
If
right?
it's 200%, no, five. Let me see. 14.8, 15%. Just say 15%. Yeah, something around there. Yeah. So that is after I have some kind of track record myself. Then I started this so-called membership club thing. So I just tell people that, okay, I'm managing this and investing in small cap stocks. Yeah, so right now it's up around 204%.
Sorry, I might have missed it. But when you say you invest in small caps, right? You mean specifically in local small caps, or you also cover the US side?
More of local small cap stocks, because I tried, actually, the model portfolio itself, I've tried investing in US small cap stocks. That's where my model portfolio actually underperform.
Oh.
Because when it comes to US, right, I feel that it's a different ball game compared to Singapore stocks. Singapore is very, I would say, it's easy to see how they can grow. Like they can maybe just open a few more outlets. You know that their saturation is there, and then you maybe sell off or things like that. But in US, I cannot really gauge because the market is so big, right? And then the big players become bigger, like all these tech giants. So they just take away the market share of all these smaller players. And in the end, I think the record wasn't very good for US small cap stocks. Yeah.
Do you have a concern, like if you invest in local small caps, right? There is kind of like invisible ceiling because their TAM is very small compared to like US side, where just catering to their own economy is actually quite big already, has the room to grow.
Yeah, actually, I get that question a lot. So like like, hey, Singapore market only so small, that kind of thing. So I actually look at stocks more of like when they turn around. So like for example, Marco Polo Marine, that time they turn around and the TAM is not an issue because they are like loss making. And then when they turn profitable, that's where I monitor until a certain stage where I see the growth starts to slow down, then I will sell off and go to another opportunity. Yeah. So I'm not like buying them and holding them for 10, 20 years kind of a thing. Because I know they have a ceiling, right? Then I want to aim to go in at a low price, like so-called like
The inflection
more
point.
inflection point, correct?
Yeah, but that also means that the multi-baggers, right? You won't have the time. Like for example, Microsoft, Apple, this kind, they take like 40, 50 years to become like a few hundred baggers, those kind of thing. Nvidia nowadays also. So that if you invest in local small caps, you won't have that kind of astronomical results.
Yeah, that's why I have two portfolios now. So one is for US stocks. Yeah, I agree with you. Yeah.
Okay.
But Eric, I just want to note that even a lot of people that invest in overseas stock, right? I think not a lot also have those 100x, 200x that you talk about. Because
Yeah, we're
nobody
not
hold
talking about probability. We're talking about possibility. So local stocks, small caps, due to market being very illiquid. Because I used to be a stockbroker, so it's very tight. Like there's no liquidity at all, even in the what you call that catalyst stocks. So it's a bit hard to churn investor interest. That's why they maybe ask you to write article for them, go to those Williams
Yeah.
Investor Center, try to rah the stockbrokers that hey, my stock is the best. So
Yeah.
yeah, so it's a bit hard.
That's why when they start to rah, I know that there's some good news, and that's where I really pay attention. Yeah, some kind of a hidden advantage, I would say. Yeah.
Okay.
Are you saying that this small cap investing you need to play the timing well? So you cannot just just keep holding for long term type of investing. You need to pair it with the market timing.
A bit. It is. I also don't know how to explain. It's more like after quite a long while of investing, like 10 years, I get that feeling that okay, this is the one, that kind of thing. Yeah.
This get the feeling a bit dangerous. Like those who buy Toto also they get the feeling. I feel it this round.
So there are hits and misses. Yeah.
This question I asked the Aiden Khoo the other time. So like Aiden Khoo, his portfolio was like I think 20%. Then the triple Q was like giving 22% CAGR. So this question I would ask you the same thing also because your CAGR you are it feels like you are doing a lot of work and yet you underperform the triple Q. So why not just invest in the triple Q instead?
Actually, I agree with you lah. So whoever don't want to do the research can actually invest in triple Q, the Nasdaq. But I would say when it comes to investing, everyone has their own style. Like maybe Kelvin like to go all in Tesla, Chiking like to go Alibaba. I mean, we all have our own investment philosophy or style, and maybe what works for me is just small cap stocks. And over the 10 years, I mean, I've been inside and I feel my performance is better there as compared to US stocks. I mean, US stocks, although, investing in them and holding for the long term sounds good, it's just that it doesn't give me the kind of excitement when it comes to small cap stocks. I don't know whether it's dangerous or not, but luckily, so far, still okay. Yeah.
Just curious, James. You know you have found your strength, right? Which is in small cap stocks, right? Do you think like you should keep on building on your strength? Like continue with like small cap, like you say, like just all in small cap. This is where you done well. Or do you think that at this stage you would think about like, okay, small cap is okay, but I also want to learn other stuff. I also want to pick up, understand other markets and so on. So how do you balance between these two?
Actually, I had this enlightenment a few years back. So when the problem with like what Eric shared, right, about small cap stocks in Singapore is that it's very hard to find that one or two that can give you that kind of explosive returns. It's more like you really, really need to hunt, and sometimes you don't even find any opportunities. So, like for example, the oil and gas sector crashed back then, and that's where I really, really stand by and do my due diligence, waiting for opportunity. But if it's just stagnant all the way, then I might as well go for the US stocks. I mean, I invest in the already established blue chips like Google, Amazon, the kind. So I would say right now I'm trying to diversify. If there are no opportunities in the small cap space, I can still go for the US side. So that's how I see it for my own portfolio at least.
Actually, if when you're investing in small cap stocks, I don't know, like maybe it's hard to see when they will turn around. Like maybe you have a better insight. But what if one day you found that you are wrong? Like maybe you invest in some big Chinese e-commerce company, then it dropped like 60%. Not saying blah blah, but so like when will you start to cut loss? When will you decide to hold?
Okay, thank you for the question. So I think it boils down to the investment thesis. So my investment thesis start off when I look at small cap stocks, right, is whether there is a catalyst. So like for example, I see that okay, they release better results. Like for example, their results all lose money. Then suddenly one quarter they announce that I make profits already, and then I will see the management team what they say. Sometimes I will email the I to ask what is prospects going forward and that kind of thing. So if they are more muted, they're not willing to share, then maybe nothing fancy. But if they are willing to share, like what I said just now, like they start to rah, then that's where I feel that there is a possible turnaround. And I also look at things like insider trades. So I think Singapore businessmen are quite screwed in the sense that 那个 Chinese idiom 叫什么无风不起浪. So when their share price drop, you won't see them do anything. Then once it starts to turn around, then they will start to buy back the shares, either share buybacks or insider buyback, that kind of thing. And so the catalyst is important when it comes to small cap stocks. So if let's say if I decide to go in, I will wait to see whether my thesis will work out well or not within that 1 year period. So if they continue to give better results, and then the share price, like, because when it comes to small cap stocks, there is like when the share price come down, then it's a very quiet period. You don't see any volume, and then suddenly their volumes shoot up. Either the big boys come in, or they find some fund managers to come in, and then you know that okay, this is like the catalyst that will push them up further. Maybe I share one example. Can share stocks here? Can. So like for example, the recent stock is ISO team. I'm not sure whether you all know or not. ISO team. So they are doing all the landscape and kind of for the HDB upgrading. So they do all this. They do the painting for the HDBs and all that. So what happens is that last time COVID, they took on a lot of contracts from the government. Then they lost money because of cost overrun. All their workers, because of COVID or things like that, they quarantine. They go back their own countries, and then they thought that like they are continuing a very good order book, they want to continue, then they take on too much at a lower margins. But then after that, sort of this last year itself, they clear all the very expensive order book already. So going forward is order book with higher margins. Then they are also beneficiary of the upcoming Singapore elections. So they are doing a lot of PR coverage. So the team and all that also approach me, that kind of thing. So I know like what's the catalyst. So that's where I feel more confident when I go in.
Actually, James, I want to ask you, because in the first place, I think the initial branding of the website was Small Cap Asia, right? But I think we have been talking a lot about like Singapore-based like local stocks, which you discuss about like small TAM and what. So typically in Asia, I guess a lot of the bigger ones, or there's a lot of bigger markets. I think Hong Kong right now, one is like there's a lot of nets, there's a lot of underbook value and crazy sales because of the bear market, right? Have you went into, or are you studying the Hong Kong market in general, or any like other like Indonesia market, Thailand market? I'm not too sure whether they are in your watch list as well.
My watch list only Singapore and Hong Kong. I tried Malaysia, but sadly to say, I mean, I don't know, I cannot really catch their rhythm in the sense that sometimes the IPO release, then they can go up 40-50%, and then I don't know whether it's time to go in and things like that for Malaysia market. And I feel that over there the traders are more in control rather than the fundamentalists. Okay lah, China market also the same, but at least Hong Kong is bigger. They have a bigger TAM. For Hong Kong, I have also looked into quite a few stocks, Tencent, Alibaba, of course, and NetEase as well. But for me, I invested in Yihai, so the supplier of Haidilao. Yeah. So for me, the reason why I go in is because I feel that Haidilao China is opening up more stores. Super High is also expanding internationally, so I went into Yihai. Yeah. So I also have a few on my watch list, like Boston, the kind of other stocks. But in generally, I would take longer to analyze Hong Kong stocks because I don't want the Chinese government to suddenly come in and, hey, we want to come out with a new regulation. That kind. I don't really. Yeah. So my preference for Hong Kong market is the consumer staples. Yeah.
But these are not small caps, right? The one that you just
No,
mentioned.
no. These are not. Yihai, I don't think. I don't think so. Maybe mid cap.
Yihai is 11B Hong Kong dollars. So if you convert it
If you
to
divide by
USD,
5.
it's 1.4B. Actually, so it's considered small cap. In US, like under
Yeah,
PL,
US
it's called
context.
small cap. Yeah.
Yeah. So still small cap. No lah, but I feel that is in a good position to grow lor. Yeah, I'm not. My investment philosophy has changed in that I don't look whether they are small cap or not. It's more like whether they can grow.
So usually at one point in time, how many positions will you have in the portfolio? Generally,
I would say 15 to 20.
equal weightage,
No, not equal.
very unequal.
Very unequal.
So very
like
concentrated in a way.
yeah,
Okay.
I don't know. Fortunately or unfortunately, they are concentrated in my small cap stocks. So yeah, for example, I bought Sim Leisure, the one that doing the Kidzania in Sentosa, Escape Theme Parks in Malaysia. So I'm up 3 times. So then I just let it run. Yeah.
Just want to know your thoughts about the REITs since they are considered undervalued. If you look at this past like P's, whatever ratio lah, past 10 years.
My view on REITs. Actually, I did a few videos on REITs. I mean, everyone like REITs. So, but personally for me, right, I'm focusing more on capital appreciation. So to me, I will only go for REITs if they provide me both lah. One is the dividend, one is the capital appreciation. Yeah. So right now, I think REITs can give me both. So I'm looking at them as well. So I think I'm looking at 3 right now: Mapletree Industrial Trust, CapitaLand Escort Trust, and Fraser Logistics and Commercial Trust. I'm more in favor of Mapletree Industrial Trust. I think they just released results, DPU went, and they're focusing more on data centers. Yeah, and it's hot favorite in Singapore market. Yeah.
Hot favorite means that it should be fairly valued already lah. So
Yeah, maybe the capital appreciation not there also. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I would say it's stable lor. Maybe good for my father lah. Stable dividends.
So
Yeah.
you're of the view that REITs is primarily for those retirees looking for stability, income, not really capital growth.
Yeah. I mean, especially when it comes to the recent high interest rate environment, you can see that when you have to borrow to buy properties, in a sense that when there's high interest rates, you cannot really compound much faster as compared to, like, when you talk about Microsoft or what, they don't have this debt burden, to grow.
But where's the capital appreciation will come from then? Because you said we are not supposed to expect a lot of like M&A, right? Like if they can't buy properties, just increase their revenue, then where's the capital appreciations from?
Mean to reversion, like for example, let's say CapitaLand Escort Trust, they used to trade at 1 times price to book, but right now maybe it's 0.7, 0.8 times. So there's a 0.2 times. I mean, I just look at it very simply. So 0.2 times is around 20%
Yep.
capital growth.
Is that means that, let's say after you invested, the price, let's say, go up by 20 or 25% is fairly valued, then you are looking to, just turn to the other companies.
Yeah. something like that. Yeah, I mean, I will just hold, see whether it can go up a bit more, that kind of thing. But generally, my idea is like that for REITs.
Bunti, got any comments to this investment style? I thought that time you had quite a bit of comments about constantly hunting for.
No, it's a approach. Some actually quite a number of people do that. I know. Yeah, I have a debate with Chicken, not debate, a discussion on this. It's like I keep telling Chicken, Meta up so much, don't sell, don't sell. I try to tell people that okay, the monies that you are going to earn, the big monies are in. You need to wait 3 years, 5 years, 10 years
Yeah,
to really
it's
see that. Yeah,
in the waiting lah.
in the
The big gains are in the waiting. Yeah, that's why I also have a bulk of my portfolio inside US stocks. So that one would be like just to hold long term kind. Yeah,
But
but
I
I
think
like to. Sorry.
I think the reverse is also kind of true, where if you actually do monitor a lot of this is a theory lah. I'm not too sure whether this is validated by industries, that they said that why the cigar butt or the small cap investing will work is because specifically for fund managers, whenever they do very well, they will usually upgrade, and then a lot of funds go in, and then you hollow out the bottom stage of the people, because there are lesser and lesser people competing in this space. So those fund managers that are good at finding small caps, they will upgrade to maybe mid cap or large cap, because their AUM become very high. Then the opportunities are there again. And then because it's illiquid, the big boys can't come in, etc., etc. Then when you do monitor or try to study a lot of those very famous, very good investors, right? I think your Warren Buffett or Charlie Mungers, or even the earlier years of Monish Pabrai, they all started in small caps. And I believe there was this very famous, I guess, interview with Buffett saying that today, if he start over with $1 million again, he can guarantee 50% returns year on year. But he probably not by investing in your apples or what, but more so trying to hunt for these opportunities. So in a way, if you think back again, I don't know if I guess there is valid points that they can find a lot of all these asymmetries, but it's a very tough game. And I believe what Buffett did that time was really flip page after page and finding all these crazy companies that are really dirt cheap and have catalysts to rebound back. And yeah, that was how they built up the funds in the first place lah. Compared to the conventional buy Netflix 200x or that kind of thing. I think that's also a different approach.
yeah. I think when it comes to small cap, definitely there's this problem that they are very small, so even funds investor that want to get in, they can't get in because it's very illiquid, very hard to do anything about it. So they will just stay there for very long time. But let's say out of like 10 stocks, right, there will be 1 or 2 or 3 companies where they will just see there's a improvement in fundamentals, financial getting better. Maybe they were struggling in their business, not profitable, become profitable, and then more like what Chicken you just said, more and more customer jump in, and as all these investors jump in, right, their trading volume go up, right? Then market cap go up, then more people can jump in now because there's activity now. It's no longer that illiquid anymore. And this one can have like a spiral upward kind of things, right? Just do this flywheel. And that's where you get the 10x, 20x, 50x, like kind of like easily. But that's for the one that you strike it right. Because out of 10, maybe 2 have this kind of chances. But what about the other 8? The other 8 will be like, they just continue to wait. That's why while waiting, their price also keep on, like deteriorating. So if you don't know what you're doing, chances are you will hit that 8 rather than that 2. Only, good those who are really deep into it, like James, is able to spot that 2, or he will smell it, right? So for those people that can't smell it, I would say, do you want to play that game? Because it's like you really need to invest the time to be very active, to be very, learn how to smell that things. I really don't know how to do that. I tried before, but I gave up.
Yeah. Thank you. I'm hearing your debate now. Thank you, Chicken, for supporting me.
Because this was also an idea that I toyed with in a way where, like, if you think of it logically, and you look at how all the great people are talking, they all started out with this method of investing. So there is definitely validity to it. But back to Bunti's point, because we talk to a big audience, right? Of course, I'm not advocating to tell like 5,000 or 10,000 of y'all watching this video and then ask all of y'all that I sell everything in the US, market too high, all whack small cap. But I'm just saying that this approach is valid, it's logical, and it has been proven to work for a lot of the great investors. So that's just my general thoughts on that lah. But anyway, sorry, back to James, right? So since we talked about the US market and you have a bulk of your money there, right? Do you have a personal opinion on what you're currently positioning in a way where do you expect we are seeing some sort of a slight dip right now, but not too sure whether this will pull enough to 10-20%, or do you think that it's a small thing and small blip and then we are going to the moon again?
Actually, I just saw the results for Microsoft. So they actually did perform according to expectations, but the share price came down so much. Like I think that maybe the market right now is a bit overheated in the sense that whether you on par with the estimates or you underperform, your share price will crash. But I don't feel that is anything wrong with their business fundamentals or their financial performance. It's more like I feel that this is just a share price correction, kind of a minor dip. If I want, I will just put in the bid to like dollar cost average kind of a thing. Yeah.
So meaning your current exposure to US is not huge, like in terms of percentage portfolio.
Let me think. Maybe 30%.
Okay. So are you waiting to
So-
add if there is a like?
Actually, I've been waiting to add. I miss out on quite a few because they ran out too fast.
Right.
Yeah, so there are a few that I'm looking to add. If they come down to maybe more sensible levels. I mean, not sensible as in more at the point where I can stomach. Yeah.
So Bunti, do you think US at sensible levels now, or you think it's
I think two statements lah. The one is that I think they are still overvalued. But second thing is I think there are so many quality companies that I would like to own more. So how to balance between these two? That's the ask.
Mm.
then what about Kelvin?
Sensible. I think same like Bunti, they are slightly overvalued now. The other day I was checking their values sort of thing. They are overvalued. But so I think last week or 2 weeks ago, the triple Q hit the overbought territory. So that's why they were correcting back down. But now it's still not yet at the oversold level. So I must suspect it could continue go down a bit more. Then because this year is election year, there's someone go and do average of the market's performance for election years. Somehow it coincides with the performance. Like, okay, in August to September, October, the market will be sort of flat. Then during October, November, because it's nearer to election time, so the market will have more sell-off to take profit before, because there's more uncertainty during that period. So after the election is done, the market will go back up. Historically speaking, of course. So it's somehow right now it's playing out this whole thing. Yeah, but short term wise, I don't think there's any bad news going on. Yeah, other than the McDonald's, they are always overcharging people and they are now paying the price.
McDonald's
Okay.
overcharge people.
Yeah, their value meal is not value. So people spend less on McDonald's. So their sales drop. So their price.
Okay.
Have. Now they bring back all the value meals,
Yeah.
which is good, but the burgers are still smaller. You all realize that, right? The burgers, they are a lot smaller. Okay, anyway, can I check what is your view, James, of crypto?
Crypto.
Yeah. Don't need to be official view. Don't need to be like, oh, this is for my investor. Like your personally, what do you feel about it?
Okay, personally, I feel that crypto is the next trend also, like the next big thing, in a sense that you already see so many people bought the crypto, offering crypto payments and a lot of things. But right now, there are still a lot of tokens that they are created not out of necessity,
Yeah.
more of like
For fun.
for fun, I sell you ICO and then I get money.
To
The rich
scam,
become richer. Borderline scam kind of a thing.
no outright scam.
Yeah.
So what do you feel like those kind of, they call them the meme coins, shit coins, those kind of like, for example, right? I think one of the coins is like those kind of Trump coins.
Yeah, I heard
It will be
about that.
like these few months. Do you see a similarity between these and buying small caps? Like the large caps are like Bitcoin, Ethereum, and then the small caps are like the meme coins, all these. So they are also looking for inflection point, right? Like the point where the public interest in it will be the highest, and then people want to like go in for a quick punt.
Yeah. Interesting question. But if you talk about the price movement, maybe they are the same lah. But if you talk really about at a deeper level, like if you look at small cap stocks, at least they have legit business model. They are not like outright scams, and they have earnings. They have like viable business model as compared to those meme coins, Trump coin. This one is just to ride on the hype and then it will die
Yeah.
off. Yeah, so I don't think they are really the same. Yeah.
Not the same. I'll say the essence and the spirit of it, like asking you to
Buy
play a
low, sell
musical
high.
chair. Like musical chair lah. Like when the music stop,
Ah.
you don't know ma. But
Uh,
there is this period of opportunity where I'm not advocating people buy the Trump coins. I'm just saying like,
yeah,
okay,
and
this
I
kind of
understand what you mean, but I feel the risk is much more higher. As I don't know, that's just my personal feeling. Trump coin, and if let's say Trump get assassinated, then no more coin already. That kind of thing, like, yeah.
oh dear.
Okay, I help Eric to clarify. I don't think Eric meant like all these meme coins and small caps they are the same. I don't think that's what he's saying. He's saying sometimes these two investment, or let's call it item for speculations now, okay? They might be different, but those who participate in, they are having the same style, whereby they, get in just to, trade. So their price movement behave in like similar pattern. I think that's what Eric tried to bring up. So would that actually say, oh, just because of all this, so people don't want to get into it, just stay away, thinking that it's dangerous. So what's your thoughts on this?
So same thing like what I shared, right? I feel that there is value, at least when it comes to small cap stocks. I mean, I really look for the value, the hidden value that nobody spot, and then I wait for a catalyst for it to push up higher. Whereas as compared to if you look at meme coin, right, their purpose is to get as much exposure from the start as possible. There's no really value in it. It's more like you see who is the greater fool at the end of the day, kind of a thing. But small cap stocks, I'm not looking in that angle. I'm looking more for, is there any hidden value inside the stock itself? Yeah.
But the catalyst part is a bit similar though.
Yeah,
Like the
quite similar.
IR firms try to, hey, come together. James, help me pump these stocks. So
Okay, like if you want to
some
say,
what 5-10%, the elements.
that one is the legit,
Okay.
the pump share price.
But you are kind of talking about the activity, right? Which is to buy you're talking about buying meme stocks and buying small cap stocks, right? Then you're saying the mentality. But it's the same as equating something like, let's say you say a lot of how do I put it? A lot of people in the gang smokes. But does it mean all smokers get in a gang? Like it doesn't, the equation is not like that though. So I guess if there's a tried and like there's a logical approach to your way, and at least if the results are speaking for itself that you are making money, and like James suggested that he has been doing it for some time already, then I think it's still, I guess it's generally fine, versus like how you are speculating on discount things lah. But yeah, anyway, sorry Calvin, I cut you off.
Actually, since you are so interested in looking at insider trades, have you tried doing like looking at US politicians like Nancy Pelosi, their trades, and buy what she buys?
Actually, I saw, but the kind of trades she do is like other fund managers also. So I don't really see it as a catalyst per se, in the sense that the US, they always say, oh, maybe Nancy Pelosi buy something, or Bill Ackman buy something, or Warren Buffett buy something. It will trigger my interest to do more research, but then at the same time it will come back to what I feel, whether there's any hidden value. And for US stocks wise, I think it's more or less there. I mean, when it comes to those bigger companies, I really know what is their growth plans and things like that. So I'm not really influenced by that insider trade in US. So more so, as in the small cap space in Singapore is more of good compared to US. If you were to sum it this way.
I think time is running out. We are okay. Let's move on to your full-time job.
Sure.
Okay, so I think you have gone full-time into this content creation since last year, right? I think we met last year. You went full-time that time. Is it sustainable now? Are you earning enough money from it?
I just look at my YouTube ads revenue. For the last 3 months, I earned around $170. So not enough, not sustainable.
But you have
I
not
got two
tried,
kids.
Yeah, you have not tried like doing affiliate marketing, this kind of stuff.
I tried, but not really working well. Maybe I haven't really been pushing that kind of. I mean, I tried putting it inside my video, but the results not that fantastic. So I mean, still not enough. Given that I have a family, 2 kids to feed, that kind of thing. Yeah.
Sorry, James, can I know what's your audience breakdown? Is it majority Singaporeans?
Yeah, majority Singaporeans. Let me see. Should be a lot of guys. I think 90 something percent are guys.
I think it's similar across the board. It's all like that one. Like you are just in a
Yeah.
niche that girls are not interested in. But so when you talk about that, do you have other income streams that you're generating from either your website or blog or your YouTube?
Actually, I'm looking to. Okay, so right now I'm conducting a Skills Future approved workshop. So that is the investing workshop that I'm doing. I'm also writing some freelance stuff and maybe looking for another opportunity.
Can you share more about the
Full-time job.
workshop? Like what kind of syllabus, the course lasts how long, the group of people
Oh,
attending, who are they? Like
thank
what
you
are you teaching
for-
in details?
Let me have my shameless plug. So it's actually a 3-day investing workshop on every Saturday. So 3 Saturdays. It's more on quality investing. So different from what I've been, advocating. The quality investing workshop is more like how you identify economic modes, how you find growth, how to calculate intrinsic value, that kind of thing. And I've been using AI to try to help them facilitate the investment journey. Yeah.
So these are physical class,
Physical classes.
and they provided venue for you to conduct your class.
So I'm actually under an organization. So the organization will find a venue, and then the students will come. I mean, the best part about this workshop is that it's Skills Future credit deductible. So they don't really have to pay a lot. Sometimes they just come zero upfront cost. Yeah.
So you do the marketing yourself, or is it all done by organization you work with? Then you just go there and teach only, is it?
I can do both. I can let them find, and I can find myself. If I find myself, I will have a referral commission. Yeah, but if they find, then they can have a workshop enough of people, at least 7 packs, then can just continue.
So 3 Saturdays, each Saturday is how many hours?
From 9 to 6.
Wow, one whole day. You sure
Yeah.
your students able to absorb what you are teaching?
No,
So
by
long.
by after lunch, 3-4 p.m. you come back, you see them check out already. Their face tell me enough.
But what's the general profile though of all these people? Is it those that are of like
Yeah,
uncles, aunties?
they are all older than me for sure. So sometimes I was also quite paiseh. Like I'm teaching them, but they are all older than me. So I have actually one very memorable is that I have one student that is 70 plus. Then if because Skills Future you have this kind of assessments, right? Then you have to do. So she like really cannot do. Then need a lot of help. And then when old people they come attend, although they learn a bit but ultimately they'll say, "Hey, 这个可以买吗?" That kind of thing. So that's the main gist for her. Yeah.
So when you just maybe one last question on my end is like when you do this kind of thing, do you need to get any license, or because you are in a way also conducting a finance related class with, I guess,
Yeah.
government, right? So
Yeah,
in a
yeah.
way, do you need to be licensed, or does MAS step in, or what's the process like?
I have to have a Skills Future certificate. So I went to get that. I attained that, and then in order to have the fit and proper form, you must have a minimum number of years in financial background, financial industry as an experience kind of a thing before they approve you as a speaker. Yeah.
Understand. Any final questions? The rest? Kelvin, Eric?
Nope.
No? Okay. Okay, Ken. So thanks once again for James for coming on to Backholder and sharing extensively about, I guess his area of research is not as well developed on the YouTube space as well. So hope you guys give him more support and to understand more. I think he does cover quite a range of topics from like REITs and stuff like that as well, like in the Singapore market and even the US market as well. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed the discussion. We'll leave the links to his blog and also his YouTube channel in the description below. So with that, we'll see you guys in the next video. Goodbye.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Okay, thanks.
Very nice.